Welcome back. It's the Inner London Football League's Soccer Night show. We have already started by talking about the UK BFC, which took place last week in Birmingham, and we're going to talk about it again in this section. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you highlights of the 4 teams that made it to the semi-finals of that tournament last week. So, without much ado, here it is for you. quickly. There it is. You saw a couple of games that happened there, but before I get to what happened in those games, I'm going to run through the groups and how the teams managed to jump out of their groups into the quarters and the respective semi-finals. Here are all of the details that you need on the screen for you right now. In Group A, Lozelle Strikers, Spartak Luton, Bromley and the West End Tigers. Top two teams there were Luton and Lozelle's. Cameras, what can we say about Lozelle's, who were Birmingham's representative team, played really well?
I think obviously I've got to say all 16 teams were superb on the day. If they're doing A-levels, they'll get A stars. That's how good they were. So we need to thank them and mention them all quite heavily. I've got 8 teams on my list who have been, you know, absolutely superb and examples for everyone to follow. And they've entered every single tournament for the past 3 years. And they are MK Unity, Beaumont, Bromley, London Tigers, Luton, Jubadol, Cambridge and Jamia. 3 of those teams are, for me, in this competition, heavyweights. And everyone needs to be matching to them and really doing what they do. And they are Tigers, Luton and Jubadol. And the reason why they're heavyweights for me is Tigers have reached 2 finals and a quarter-final respectively. Luton have reached a semi-final, final and quarter-final. And Jubadol, again, similar to Luton, have reached a final, semi-final, quarter-final. I think that's going to be very hard for any other team to match, but this is really what they need to look up to. Rightfully, Beaumont and Newark will get their highlights in the final and the subsequent show. But I think Hawk and Eagle FC and Lozelle's deserve a lot of credit because both teams are debutants into the competition, and they've, you know, I think they've both done better than expected, and they've come out of their groups flying. They've won the quarterfinals. They've both lost semi-finals to obviously 2 of the top teams in the competition. So, you know, from my point of view and from the UK BFC's point of view, I want to say a big thank you to every single team, and in particular those 8 teams that I've mentioned, because they're going to be with us going forward each year and every year.
Indeed. The quarterfinals lineup ended up looking like this. I've got the results for you there on the screen. You may have seen at the beginning of that clips that London Tigers took part in a penalty shootout. It was a penalty shootout that they lost to Beaumont. 0-0 on the day, but they lost by 4 goals to 3 in a penalty shootout. Lozelle Strikers, as we said, beating Jubadol Bradford by the 1-0. Newark beating Luton, who will probably be kicking themselves, probably hope to do a lot better, but well done to Newark coming up from London. And Hawk and Eagle, as Cameron's just said, doing better than they expected by beating Northants by a 0-0. And there are the 4 teams into the semi-finals. Hawk and Eagle, Newark, Lozelle's and Beaumont. I nearly forgot you there, Rash. They were the 4 teams that made it into the semi-finals. The semi-finals ended up looking like this. The Newark beating Hawk and Eagle by 2-0. Maybe it's the legs of the younger players for Newark that got them over the line there. But a great semi-final between Lozelle Strikers and Beaumont. Beaumont, it seems, really had to excel themselves. First to be able to put out London Tigers, and then to beat who were, like we said, debutants this year in Lozelle Strikers, who played really, really well to do what they did. But they went down by 3-2, and so now we have a final that is between Beaumont and Newark, to be played at Northampton FC Sixfield Stadium in Northampton on the 2nd of June. And we'll be talking about that and a whole lot more about what happened yesterday in ILFL in the 3rd part of the show. We've got to take a break. We'll be back after this. See you soon.